There's a couple of things I think that your listeners would probably find interesting. Obviously, the demons actually heard Christ talk about what the Eucharist actually was when he was talking about it. So they actually have the knowledge of what it is. St. Thomas says that they don't actually have the virtue of faith once they fell, but they do have something which is kind of interesting. So they know this from what Christ said, this is what it is. And so they'll often attack. One of the things we see is but not just people who are possessed, but even people who aren't. They'll actually attack people on their in the process of receiving communion or on the way up to Holy Communion. Because I've had people say to me, things like, well, I'm fine during Mass, and then when I go up to go communion, I get all these just impure thoughts or all these weird thoughts that goes through my mind. And one time when I actually had Beelzebub on the ropes, I asked him, "Is that you doing that?" And he said, because he was afflicting the particular person I was working with. And he says, "Yeah, that's me." So,
Hmm.
so it does give you an indicator that they see the importance of it. But there's another side to it that people may not be aware of, and that's the fact that the demons actually, because their knowledge is infused by God, they actually they know the substance of a thing, or they see the substance of a thing intellectually. So when the Eucharist actually changes during the consecration from being bread to actually being the body and blood of our Lord, what happens is that they can't see the divinity of Christ, nor can they see the hypostatic union, and they can't see the soul of Christ, because if they saw the soul, they would see the hypostatic union. Once it's consecrated, what they see is the actual substance of what it actually is. So they actually see the blood of our Lord, or the body of our Lord. And so this actually came out during a session during one of our exorcisms, where the woman actually saw what the demon actually saw. And when she went to receive Holy Communion, she said when she looked in the chalice, even though the species of the precious blood at that time was actually a white wine, she actually saw blood in the chalice.
Hmm.
So she saw what he saw. So they know that there is. They don't necessarily have full faith in the fact that this is God, etc. But they know that Christ revealed that. They know that so they know that this is actually the case, and so for them, they know that this is the source from which all the other graces flow. And so they know that this is one of the key things in relationship to a person's spiritual life. This is one of the reasons why they tend to do a couple of things. They either afflict people to make it difficult so that their reception is not done very devoutly or with concentration or attention and things of that sort. But then the other thing is they'll also drive people receiving it in the state of mortal sin, because they know clearly, perfectly, what the church's teaching is on that particular aspect of things. And so they want people to commit the sacrilege in relationship to that, because that
Hmm.
empowers them.